Hey everybody! I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to jump in before I start this. I'm kind of hidden in my own yard because there are coyotes that are out there. So if you see anything come up behind me, let me know. Right? It's because I'm really bad with technology. Okay, so tonight, um, I'm gonna be telling personal stories instead of ones that I'm reading. Don't start! There's my best friend right there, guys. Well, I can see him from where I'm standing, so if he tries to scare me this time, I'll see it coming. I'm already scared. I'm not even way out in the yard like I normally am because I'm not trying to get eaten. Yeah! That was so funny. Me and Rec do stuff like that all the time. I watched that video like 5 times. It was pretty funny. I don't even know if he's watching right now. Breck might. I don't know if he. I think he pre-ordered it or something. Sometimes I send Rec like stupid videos or like really stupid pictures and he'll post them and be like, "This is my Woman Crush Wednesday. This really ridiculous picture." It's on now. What's up, Torque? I don't even know if he's coming or not. But he probably doesn't find them very cute. He probably finds them kind of annoying. I guess he's not showing up. Let me go holler at him. That sounded like super country. Let me go holler. He didn't even know. He's in there playing. Okay. He should be getting on anytime. Okay. What's up, Razorback? Yeah, if annoying is the new cute, then I'm like super cute. Okay. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna scare myself probably just thinking about it. Yeah, it was pretty good. Okay. So a little backstory on this first. Um, my family owns like 60 acres in Missouri, and they're surrounded by it's surrounded by a state park, so it's very secluded out there, and it's really quiet. Like it's like you don't hear any kind of outside noise at all. Well, so this has been, hey babe, finally. Anyways, this has been in my family for um like 4 or 5 generations. Like my grandpa was literally born on this property. So, anyways, this house, it's a farmhouse, and it was so old that it didn't have running water or anything, and so they had um, a well on the outside of the house. And when they went to build on to make a bathroom, they built the well inside the house. So it was my bedroom for a long time. And you can like open the top of it and you can hear weird like talking, like you don't hear any actual words, but it's very like whispers. You can't make anything out, and it just feels, the whole vibe around that well is really creepy. This whole place is creepy to me anyways. So in this house, at the time it was just me and my dad. He was not married yet, so I was probably like 7 or 8. What's up, Twisted? um I was like 7 or 8, and I was upstairs sleeping, and we had a pit bull that slept with me all the time. Well, this night she didn't want to sleep with me. She wanted to sleep on the floor. Oh yeah, we slept there. We lived there, actually. um, so I was sleeping upstairs with the dog. She didn't want to sleep in bed with me like she normally does. So the upstairs, it kind of looks like a closet when you're downstairs. It's just this tiny little door, and you open the door and it's like, boom, stairs right there. And it's like, it used to be an attic at one point that they turned into a giant bedroom. So, like I said, this is a really old house. So to have any kind of airflow, you have to leave that door open. And um, my dad, he was asleep downstairs. And so I'm kind of half asleep, and this dog, she's starting to growl real low right at the opening. It's like an opening in the floor is what it looks like from the bedroom. And so I'm kind of a little weary of that already, because she doesn't normally do that. She usually is up cuddling with me like a human. But she starts to really get aggravated, and all of her hair standing up. She's got like a mohawk down her back, and that bottom door just slams shut, and she gets on top of me, and she's growling and freaking out at whatever it was. And my dad comes running up there, and he's like, what's going on, what's going on? And I never did see anything, but that dog was pissed at whatever it was, and it took her a very long time to finally calm down. So fast forward to probably about like 6 years later. I was like 12, 13, about that age, and my grandparents, the same grandpa that was born in that house, I was at their house. And one night I was asleep with my grandma. They never shared a bedroom because my grandpa snored really loud. So my grandma was like, fuck that. She wanted some sleep. So anyways, I'm sleeping with my grandma, and I was having these dreams where I was kind of, it was like flashes of pictures instead of any kind of storyline going on. And at one point, there was this really tall, dark, black figure that doesn't have a face, but it was like, in my mind, it is probably 7 feet tall. But I'm 5 feet tall, so everything is huge compared to me. Well, it's like flashing, 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 and it's that. But it's also, I can see the whole room that I'm currently asleep in. And my grandpa, I guess someone turned around in our driveway, and the dog outside started barking. So he gets up, and he has a flashlight, and he drops the flashlight. Well, that wakes me up. And as soon as I open my eyes, it's still standing there. And I was like frozen in fear. I could not move for just it seemed like an eternity, but it had to have just been for a second, because I started screaming. Probably a possum, okay? Don't even start. Yeah, I'm gonna check just in case. But anyways, I jumped over my grandma like my grandma was gonna freaking save me. Nope, I can see my dogs. He probably wishes he was out here though. He's probably wondering what the fuck I'm doing out here. Anyways, so that was there. Well, fast forward again. This time I'm pregnant with our first daughter. And at the time we were still living with Rex's mom and dad. And our friend, some of you may know him, Big Red Ogre, he was staying the night with us too. Well, You know, when you're extremely pregnant, you have to pee. You have to pee like every 5 seconds. Yes, I did have to check around everywhere. Um, anyway, so I get up to go to the bathroom, and in the living room, there's like 3 really big windows where you can see out the front, and you can see out to the road. But it's really, really dark out there, especially there's no like yard light in the front. There's trees blocking the road light on the other side of the highway. Like, we're out in the country. So it's pretty dark. And I go to the bathroom, and I come back, and as I'm walking back through, something catches my eye. And I look out the window, and there's the same big, tall, black figure standing in front of the window, like almost like there was a car standing behind it with its headlights on. And I was, again, frozen in fear, but this time I'm like 9 months pregnant, about to have a baby at any time. So I'm like, what do? I don't know what to do. And so I just stand there, and I'm like shaking really bad, and I'm just like, I can either go wake up my father-in-law, who's in his 60s, or I can go wake up my husband, and he can take care of it. Well, joke's on me. He would not wake the fuck up. Like, I'm in there like, hey, there's someone outside. I'm really scared. He wasn't waking up. So I go and I try to wake up Big Red Ogre too, and I'm shaking him. I'm like, hey, there is somebody outside. Wake up, please wake up. Neither of them would wake up. To this day, neither of them believe me that really happened. But it happened. His dad believed me, though. I can tell you that, because it was scary. And I sat straight up in bed for hours until his mom got up for work that morning. And I knew it wasn't there anymore because she left for work. Anyways, so after that, he never believed me. But when I was probably like, Marley was only like 2 years old, I think, and my mom had recently got married. And she got married to a man whose wife died in that house that they lived in. She actually, my stepbrother found her when he came home from school. She was dead in their bathroom from, I don't know, some kind of heart something, but there was blood everywhere, and it was really crazy. She like fell in the bathroom and busted her head open. So anyways, I didn't know that anything was going on at my mom's house. Of course, she's not going to tell me that it's haunted. Like, oh, by the way, I know you're coming to stay the night, but some shit's crazy over here, just so you know. Yeah, I didn't get that warning. I didn't even know. For real. I didn't even know that there was anything wrong. Well, upstairs, there's a, like one room it's almost like a little miniature apartment. It just doesn't have a kitchen. It has like 2 rooms, and it has I hear something. It's rain, hopefully, or I'll die on video. Anyways, I'm like on high alert out here. I'm asleep up there at my mom's house. So there's 3 rooms, and one of them is like caged off because it was had all like ammunition and guns and stuff in there that he had locked. It's starting to rain. That he had locked. So I'm asleep in there. Hi, Connor. I love you. This might be my last night. I don't know. I might not survive out here. Anyways, I'm asleep upstairs, and my mom, they get up like ungodly. What do you mean? You might be too late. That's what I mean. I'll be out here telling a story, and next thing I know, I'm dead, and you're too late. Maybe I should have brought the gun out here myself. Anyways, so I'm upstairs with my 2-year-old at the time. We're sleeping, and my parents, they get up at really like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to go do whatever. And my mom told me she was going to get up to go to yoga class or something that next morning. Well, uh, yeah, for real. Um, I was asleep, and you guys are distracting the hell out of me. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, it's raining like a mug out here. We're starting to. Anyways, so I'm asleep, minding my own business, and I hear someone walk up the stairs and walk into the room. Like, you can hear carpet moving when someone's walking over it. Well, I didn't open my eyes because I thought it was my mom. Well, like 2 years later, we're talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, I never did that. That wasn't me." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I still didn't even know until then that the house was haunted. Then she decided to tell me, "Oh, by the way, we've had to have like 3 Catholic priests come out here and bless the house because shit's wild." So after all that, probably right before school started this year, some of you know Marley. She was asleep on the couch, and she woke up. She sleepwalks a lot, so sometimes you're not sure if she's actually awake and if what she's telling you is something that she actually remembers. But like, she's tried to go outside and all sorts of crazy stuff. That's So you never really know for sure. But she woke up and was scared, and was telling her dad that she had a really bad dream, and that it was this big black figure that had red eyes. Well, he gets up kind of to come over and console her because she had like a really scared look in her on her eyes. And so he gets up and he goes to walk over to the couch, and he's like, "Well, that's not real. It's not real. It's just a dream, whatever, just like a normal parent thing." And she's like, "Well, he's standing right behind you." And he said at that time when she said that, it got really cold behind him. And this is someone who doesn't believe anything like that. What's up, Daz? Yeah. So she said, "Well, he's right behind you, And at that time, um, my dogs were outside, and I have 3 dogs. And they're out here, they're going nuts. They're going absolutely crazy. And so I was asleep, but I hear the dogs barking like that. And so he comes in there after he gets Marley. He comes into our bedroom, and after Marley goes to her bed, and he's telling me about it. And he's like, um, I can tell that he's legitimately freaked out about it. And at that time, I've had all this happen to me in my life, and I feel like I'm very um, in tune with things like that. I can pick up on things like that, and it doesn't always scare me. But the vibe in the house was definitely different. And so I went into the living room, and I told them to go ahead and bring the dogs inside because I wanted them to come in and kind of check things out. So what you're supposed to do, at least what's worked for me, I have like a weird glare in my glasses, is you tell them that they're not welcome. And so he lets the dogs in, and while he's outside, I'm telling it, "You're not welcome here," and to not come back. Like, I'll say, "The fuck out of this house. I'll burn this house down. You can just go fucking float around somewhere else. But you ain't floating around me. I can tell you that." But shit like that happens all the time. All the time. To me. And I feel it. And I believe my kids when they tell me that there's something there, or when they dream about it. That dream fucked her up for so long that she was drawing pictures of it for like weeks. Anytime I was on the phone with anybody, I had to tell them about it. And I had to tell them in detail what it looked like. She was legit scared. It scared me, it scared Dad, it scared all of us. Even the dogs were like, not having it. So that's all I can really think of that's happened to me lately. Those are the biggest things. I don't know what the big black figure is. Yeah, Emily has a lot of good stories too. We tell stories a lot about stuff like this. But I don't know what it is. And honestly, um, it doesn't feel like it's threatening to me. It's just like, it's scary because it's unknown and it just stands over me. And so what freaked me out even more was the fact um, that she sees something similar to what I've seen, and that the only difference is the eyes. And I haven't really been close enough. The last time I wasn't close enough to see, but whatever it is, it's following me, and apparently she's seeing it too. I haven't seen it since then, but she has. So that's just fan-fucking-tastic, isn't it, guys? So one more story. It's not a scary story, but I'll tell you about the time that I almost ran over wrecked. Seriously, the dream thing is crazy because me and Emily were just talking about this the other day. Me and that same person, um, Big Red Ogre, see, he went to jail for a little bit. And there's this thing called dreamscaping, and a lot of times you have to do it on purpose. But him and I, of course there was no communication between him and I except for letters, and every once in a while he would call. What's up, Limits? He would call every once in a while, so one day I told Rex about this dream about me talking to Big Red Ogre in this part of town that we live in, that we're from. And I even told him the conversation that we had. Well, it's like raining. Anyways, sorry, it's not very clear. Anyways, that same exact day, not even kidding, he calls from the jail to talk to Rex, and he's like, yo, I had this dream about Mariah, and she was just talking to me and telling me that I was in her dream. Yeah, he's the kids' godfather. But, I mean, it was trippy. So, sometimes what we see in dreams, we see in real life. You're so cute. Wow, Rainbow! Dang! Oh well, I'll tell you these stories again if you want to hear them. Or you can just watch this after it's over, whatever you want to do. But it is starting to rain. Anyways, quick story about how I almost ran over Rick because he thought he was so funny. So we had these people that just showed up in our yard one day. And like I said, we live out in the country, so it's really strange for people to just show up to be out here in the middle of the night. Really, it's strange for people to be anywhere in the middle of the night. That's not their own house. But it kind of had us on high alert during that time. So the next day, I came home from work, and I see there's like some trees, in my front yard, and I see somebody run from one tree to another tree across the yard, and I'm like, oh hell no, I think it's these people. So I'm like, I'm about to run this bitch over. So here I come through the yard about to run someone over, and the only reason he didn't get ran over is because he was behind a tree, and I couldn't just swoop around the tree and get him. So I get out, and I'm like yelling for him, and I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs, like, get out here, someone's out here. Well, guess who the fuck it was? It was Rex. So I chase him all the way in the house. He's running from me. I chase him in there, and I just start beating him up. And his dad's like, what's going on? I'm like, your son wants to die. He wants to. He pushes my buttons all the time. He's lucky he's cute. Okay, it's starting to rain like crazy, so I'm going to go inside. But thanks, everybody, for coming out or showing up. Whatever. Same thing. That was my creepy stories for the night. Wow, this is even creepier because I look like I'm about to get murdered. Alright, love you guys. Bye.